Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the live chat, be sure to drop your crowns, your elephants, snowflakes, whatever it may be, and don't forget to like the video. Of course, it's our weekly collaboration with Up and Adam and Down with Jason, and it's been so long, so we're going to cover not just the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but we're also going to talk a little bit about the Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion, and what was just announced this morning, the Real Housewives of Dubai. Welcome, my boys, Up and Adam and Down with Jason. What's going on, guys?
Hello. Hey, Kempire.
It's been forever.
Oh my god. Seriously.
It's only been a week.
It does feel like it's been a while since we've all been on here, but it's only been a week, right?
I think we're just so, used to doing everything together. So it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're back, and Mondays are crazy, and we're going to get into it because we're all so busy today. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is almost mid-season, and it seems not to be getting better. We barely got anything of Jenny, and it really was focused on the relationships between Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, Whitney Rose, and, of course, Jen Shah. Jen Shah, the arrest is going to be coming next week, and I guess that's when things will start to pick up. But I'll start with Jason. Your overall review of last night's episode.
I'm trying to think of what I actually tried to pay attention to. We saw Whitney rollerblading.
Yes.
We saw some penises on the head.
Oh.
We saw, you know what I was most delighted about, to be honest, is I had no idea Meredith and Lisa had theatrical training. I didn't know they had a background in theater because these Lisa situations of planting someone to be there and try to insert a conversation or, oh, hold on, my husband and I have to take a photo while Cameron and Meredith go over here to the side and talk. It's getting to me. It just felt very staged, and it felt like they have been trying to make things happen until the Jen Shah thing happens.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can't believe I'm saying that. Sorry.
What about you, Adam? What was your overall take of this last episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
I think I'm just mad.
Oh.
And I think I'm mad because, Beverly Hills, thank God we didn't have to wait this long to get the Girardi scandal drama. And I feel like, with having that opening when we got our first episode, the premiere episode, and it having Jen Shah in there, so it shows us what's to come, and then having to wait 7, 8, like 2 months later, this has been really kind of annoying. Even though I'm fighting for Salt Lake City, but now this Jen Shah stuff better be damn good, because now I think a lot of people are just kind of mad, unless it's just me.
Well, no, I think people are a little like, okay, what's going on? And, Salt Lake City is a new city. This is only their second season. But, I mean, to have a full-on crime, I'm excited for the crime.
And she's the ringleader, it's different.
Not the ringleader.
I mean, alleged.
In the very first scene, we get to see Stuart Smith and Jen Shah, I guess, plotting their business.
Yeah, that was shady as hell.
But I can't even blame the editors in this particular instance because they didn't know what's to come. They just have the footage and they're inserting the footage where necessary.
Again, I think they're looking for places to fill.
He doesn't believe that, right?
No, I do believe that. They had the footage. They didn't know that this was coming down the pipeline. Of course, they're going to insert it. No one's believing this.
No, because we've never seen Stuart this much.
Yeah.
This is true.
We get a lot of Stuart.
We do get a lot of Stuart. But of course, they want us to see this. They know that Salt Lake City is a new city. They know that the ratings are just sort of climbing. They're not really there yet. But again, it's their second season. But what did you guys think, though, when you saw that particular scene? That was the opening scene.
Stew chains?
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's almost one of those cringy moments where, like right now, when we see Erica's closet, like you see it, what editing's doing, what the producers are doing, it's shady as all get out. And just listening to them talk about business, that's going to be that one moment where they can look and be like, well, what you guys were. And really behind the scenes, when all the suit and ties are in the office, they're like, this is going to spark interest because they're talking about the alleged business that caused fraud. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Jason, what was your reaction to seeing that scene? And it was very quick.
It was very quick. I really feel like, producers are just trying to set this up the right way. And have a little fill in. They really needed a lot of fill this episode. Yeah. I just felt like we weren't going, and I almost feel like we were going backwards. So I Kempire, I'm a proponent for Salt Lake City having a franchise or having this franchise. And I got us through the rookie season by being excited. I kind of was excited about this. And then coming into season 2, now that we know these ladies, and I know I've said this before, I felt like it was going to be a little more interesting.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, I'm a little more excited to see what's going to happen with all of the Jen Shah stuff more than the Erica stuff, because, as you've pointed out and many other people, it's actually her crime, allegedly. Right. So,
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
We only got one scene with Jenny, the newest housewife. And I had just to remind you guys that, originally she was just supposed to be a friend of. So I'm guessing that's part of the reason why we didn't get a lot of her in these last few episodes. Did you miss her, though? That one little scene that we got with her daughter was priceless, and a little passing of gas,
I missed her daughter.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about Jenny right now. I think that Jenny has been pretty open with us and vulnerable, and I think she's holding her own when it comes to the rest of the women. And it's very important, whether you have that Candy Burris mom, Mama Joyce, coming in, or that extra character, a part of your family that makes you even more lovable, which is her daughter. So I like Jenny. I did miss her, because we're watching other scenes that I don't need to see, like Jason said, Jen Shah and Heather Gay playing penis toss. I would rather just give us more Jenny.
I mean, I agree with that, because that scene, that particular scene with Heather and Jen wasn't that interesting, but I kind of like seeing Jen and Heather together. They're fun. I didn't really miss Jenny, but have you guys heard the rumors about Jenny's niece talking about their storyline being fake? And that's not the first time I've heard about their storyline being fake.
I don't know. Who did Jenny talk to? Lisa Barlow?
No,
because
she did try to debunk those.
Yeah.
She said that she doesn't know why they're coming out and saying this. But now at this point, just because somebody said it and they, Jenny confirmed they are family members, now everyone is just going to speculate and wonder, and everyone's going to be divided. Some people are going to think now she's fake, and some people will like her just because one little girl went on a TikTok and decided to say, "This is my family member," and she's lying. So, poor Jenny, you're about to get a taste of the platform.
There's a little smoke around Jenny, but we have our eyes on you, Jenny. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
We didn't get a lot of Jenny this episode, but we have our eyes on you, Jenny. We're watching. We're watching a little bit closer. I'm still not feeling Butterface, but it is what it is.
Get in line after Mary. It's a lot to cover.
Mary, we're gonna get to Mary. Lisa Barlow, very calculated Lisa Barlow. She seems like she's pulling the strings this episode in so many different instances. But one of the things that I love about Salt Lake City are the kids, and her kids are so impressive. They have their own. I might have to get me some beard oils. Look, they're doing a charitable event because Lisa Barlow's husband, I can't recall his name, unimportant.
John.
There you go. Thank you. And he was adopted. And so they decided to do this charitable event for adoption. And I'm just so impressed with how her son has sort of stepped up in this moment. What was your reaction, Jason, to seeing this whole event get planned by her son and Lisa?
I mean, he was great. I mean, coming from when he was sitting down talking about his business plan in the conference room to being able to stand up in front of a room like that and tell the story about his father. And that's relatable to me. My dad was adopted. Adam's mom was adopted. Wow. So I thought it was great. And I thought it was a great scene. I love seeing the other kids who also have businesses like Brooks come and support. And yeah, it was very interesting. It was great to watch. It was just, what happened afterwards is where it lost me a little bit.
Adam, what was your reaction to this business side of her son? Because, we originally were introduced to the children. It seemed as if she was pushing them to move in that sort of direction, but he seems really comfortable.
Yeah, no, I have to applaud him too, because even in college for me, when I would have to stand up and give a presentation, I would sit there and I would be shaking. I couldn't get my words out and I would get really anxious. So the fact that he can do that at his age in front of a room, and that she's introducing him into these different scenarios where he needs to make decisions, and these decisions will impact the business. I think it's exciting, and I can't do anything but applaud the whole event. And I love the fact that you said beard oil, because it's funny. These two little guys, like, they don't know yet. They don't even have a beard. So right now they're just like, I wonder in like 5 years from now, the oldest one's going to be blown away because he's going to be like, oh, this is really actually good. I like my own product.
I mean, they have other products. I wasn't thinking about the hair products and things like that because obviously I have no hair. But I was like, oh, the beard oil, I'm going to have to, I mean, as long as I'm able to find it. Have we been able to locate Vita Tequila?
So I am getting so many responses on Instagram and Twitter. It's actually amazing. I actually know where it is. You can find it in Orange County, in Newport. You can find it in Woodland Hills, in LA. In Utah, and especially at select restaurants in Maine. However, you cannot find it within 1,000 miles of Florida.
Damn.
So I'm just saying.
Why did you have to end on a negative like that? I like the build up. Like, you can find it here. Boom.
Well, you know.
Well, we've been trying to get you some Vita Tequila. Hello, this is again another week where we're going to ask Lisa Barlow. Please send Down with Jason some Vita Tequila so we can.
I will make cocktails. I will review it.
We just missed her by a day too, and I was talking with her back and forth in DMs because she came down to the Fort Lauderdale boat show. We went on Friday. She went on Thursday. And when I messaged her and she said, "Yeah, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Can you are you around tonight, tomorrow?" And we said, we're coming in to Fort Lauderdale for the boat show tomorrow. She said, well, I'm leaving early in the morning for Orlando. And I was like,
convenient.
Convenient because if I don't know if she carries bottles, with her, or if she would point me to the nearest Total Wine, I would drag her with me and just show her what I'm finding so she knows.
What would you just point at a whole rack full of other people's tequila? That's not like, this is what I'm finding.
This is what I'm finding. And all of this is great. So I hope yours is just as great.
Well, let's compare, because she has Vita Tequila and then, the other infamous, famous, I should say, housewife that has a brand in the alcohol world. Can you find Skinny Girl down there easily?
Yes. You can find it everywhere easily.
You can find LVP Rosé anywhere easily here. Like every CVS, both of those brands.
Yes.
Yeah, not
no, but even CVS, I'm saying CVS, Walgreens, Publix, Whole Foods, yeah,
wow. Okay, so we're getting one step closer to Vita Tequila?
No, we're not. We haven't made any progress.
No, I'm just getting one message closer to knowing that it doesn't exist here. So that's.
I can't wait until I hope one day Jason actually has to come somewhere with me to something like some sort of event, and I hope she's there and she just looks at him dead in the face and is like, I hear that you keep asking and talking crap about my tequila. You want to talk about it?
I'm asking for it. So, I'm asking for that, and I'm also asking for the tequila.
I think we're help promoting it.
I keep it relevant because.
Okay. I don't know. Listen.
Unless you're going to that one event at Sundance.
That gummy vitamin that you had, because
I'm just saying, unless you go to that one event at Sundance or you go to that one restaurant in Utah, those are the only two places I know where to find it. Unless when we're back in LA sometime in December, I'll travel out to the valley and get some.
Oh my gosh, guys! If you're just joining us, we of course are here with Down with Jason and cheating Vita Tequila again. But we're gonna get him a bottle. And it's going to be because we keep bringing it up. We're going to get that bottle. Thank you, Lisa, in advance. And of course, I'm here with Up and Adam, guys. There was a scene, and again, I think Jason can relate with me when it comes to this. Mary Cosby is saving the season because these moments that we're getting here with Mary Cosby have been incredibly funny, but also we're getting some tearful moments. So she has a lunch where she says buongiorno, but very differently, at this Italian restaurant with Heather and Whitney. And I'm like, okay, so first of all, it's always funny with her, but then we get this really heartfelt moment because, they bring up the whole issue with her and Lisa questioning things that she says. Oh, I got to Google that. And she gets very offended. She says it triggers the issues that she's had with her mother. So as you know, she married her grandfather, daddy, something, whatever.
Granddaddy Senior.
There you go. And that has caused a rift in the family to the point where she has not spoken to her mother in 25 years. So apparently her mother thought that she should have gotten the inheritance, the church, all of the money. And she says the situation with Lisa triggered her. Jason, I know that you'll have my back on this, that Mary's saving the season. Do you think Mary's saving the season?
Yeah, she's been the most interesting part. And I actually like to get to know Mary a little more, regardless of what's happening with the church. And we're going to get there. So, she's not off the hook, but allegedly what's happening with the church. But I really see a lot more. She's opening up. And in that, she's giving us great moments. The more real she is, how do I say that? The more she's herself, the more I enjoy her. I enjoy all her little nuances and mannerisms and things that I enjoy that. I enjoy that. I really don't know. When it's a boring episode, she makes me laugh. So that's great. We need her this season.
And Adam, what are your thoughts on Mary this season and this week's episode? Why are you laughing, Adam?
I don't, because I'm just thinking about her. Listen, I'm not gonna bag on Mary. I think that she does offer what you guys are saying to the episodes, and she is refreshing. Do I feel like there's a lot of heat around her for other reasons? Yeah, we obviously know that, so it makes me a little bit skeptical of her. And when she was crying, saying, that triggered me because my mom used to, not believe what I was saying or not trust what I was saying. Was she referring to the fact that you told your mom that it was God's will for you to marry your grandfather and take over the estate? Was that what you're referring to? Because if that's what you're referring to, and she didn't believe that you didn't get this message and God didn't tell you, listen, it's time to marry granddad and bag the estate, then I don't know if you should have that strong of a reaction to that. But then again, this is just me, and I'm not Mary Cosby. Thank the Lord. I would not want to be in that marriage situation.
Honestly, when she brought up that particular moment on why Lisa questioning her thoughts, and that was the moment that she brought up, that was the triggering moment. I said to myself, okay, Mary, I want to feel sorry for you. And she was getting very tearful. So it feels bad to be like, girl, this doesn't make sense on why that triggered you. But all right, Mary, it was a moment. It was a moment. I'm enjoying Mary's this season.
A very confusing one, but it was a moment. She did give us a moment. Listen, it was a moment.
She's giving us something. But they also, in this conversation, because obviously Heather and Whitney do not like Lisa. They do not like Lisa at all. So this conversation comes up. And are you surprised that Mary sort of has Lisa's back in the conversation, despite being triggered by Lisa?
I never know where to think she is going or coming from. Yes, I was shocked. And, Mary is sitting there and Heather and Whitney are trying to give it to her on a silver platter. They're like, that was really messed up what Lisa did and said to you. And she's like, well, actually, I was the one who did and said it to her first. And I see where they're just like, you have a right to be mad, Mary. And she surprises you with these quirky little comebacks. Yeah. She's always shocking me. I can't keep up with her.
I feel as if all of them are being very calculated, especially in this episode. Heather and Whitney in that particular instance, and then of course Lisa later on. So Lisa, is having a photo shoot with her sons, and then of course Jen Shah makes an appearance, which I'm sure PETA is all over today with the wolf hats. Was anyone a little like, this is?
Yeah, awful. I didn't like those.
It was, and it didn't look good on her.
And I have some speculation. So once we get to it, we have to, I want to bring up my speculation as to why it was only Meredith invited to the event. But
okay.
Speculation.
But at this photo shoot, they bring up the whole Whitney supporting the guy, the fashion designer. You remember when the audio leaked of Jen Shah berating the fashion designer? And everyone was talking about it. All the ladies were talking about it on this episode. But Lisa brings it up and is like, I think it's really kind of shady that Whitney is gifting, her product to this guy. And then Jen also, very much like Mary, has a surprising reaction. She flips on Lisa. And then Lisa tries to bring it back. I'm really concerned about you and, the people that are your friends. Jason, what was your reaction to that scene?
Just because when I first started doing like Iris and Beau with Whitney, a lot of people got a lot of free products. So if you were just remotely on a list or you put your email down somewhere, you got something. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
But I feel like it's being made more than it is. Now, Heather and Whitney have very validated feelings from the previous season. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to carry on throughout the season. But I don't think that was meant to I don't think Whitney actually sent that person like, here is, a gift or whatever. I'm sure it was just somewhere within the pile.
What about you, Adam? What did you think of that instance?
I think the same thing, honestly, and I normally differ when it comes to my opinion and Jason's, but in this case, no, she has sent us a lot of products, so I could see where that might have been something that was already lined up in the first place, where maybe she knew him or knew of him, because she has her own little group of people, and they're very active in the LGBTQIA plus community. So I could see how they would know each other, especially because Salt Lake City is such a small town. And, LA was the same way. It was a small town. So, and, the LGBTQIA plus community, when everybody would come around, everyone knew each other. So I feel like there's probably something we're not getting, but if we got that information, it would make it less interesting.
Sure.
I'm glad it was brought up though, because I really wanted to see how Jen would react to that.
Yeah, and she had a very weird reaction to it.
Yeah, strange.
Very much Mary.
But you also, this is the thing, is you're the one who's getting caught on the audio. Same thing with Mary. You guys are the ones who are saying it.
Hello. That was my thought.
That's like, if it's written down, then obviously you could say, well, that wasn't me. That was my Twitter manager. That was my whatever. But once it comes out and it's your voice, like Mary yelling at the congregation or Jen Shah yelling at the fashion designer guy, I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's like, what do you say at this point? You just have to apologize. That's all.
It's going to be interesting. As I said to you before, it feels as if all these ladies are being very calculated in their friendships and their scenes. They're their own producers, it seems as if. But one person that I feel that we've said this multiple times, I feel that's growing. And sidebar. Do you think the reason why Lisa has not sent you some free Vita tequila is because of your relationship with Whitney Rose? Ooh,
I never thought about that.
I just had that thought.
No, I think that well, then again, I was going to say maybe she doesn't know who Jason is, because Jason hasn't really had a lot of exchanges with her, but I have, and I've asked.
Oh.
So,
oh, Lord. Look, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And once we get the Vita tequila, it's going to be a big celebration here on YouTube. Guys, if you just...
Yes, we will have a party.
Are you actually going to try some, Kempire?
I'll try some. Send me some and I'll try it.
I don't believe
then
you.
I'm going
to just for that, I'm going to get on this like right after we finish here.
Look, and then I'm going to send the rest to Jason and Adam. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have over 400 people watching. Like the video if you haven't liked it already. I'm here with, of course, Up and Adam and Down with Jason for our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with a sprinkle of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And we're going to talk a little bit about Dubai. We are almost a half an hour in, so I do want to keep this moving. Let's talk about, first of all, Whitney. I feel like she is definitely evolving as a housewife. And the conversation with her brother about her father, we wanted an update on her father, and she gave us an update. They're still not talking, and we found out the reason why. And that was partially because her finally saying no to her father in a moment where he allegedly was under the influence. So he must have fallen off the wagon. Adam, what was your reaction to that scene?
I just feel bad for her. When she came on my channel and I did that interview with her, she got very emotional and she said addiction is a B word, right? So she was just saying, her experience. She was telling me about her experience navigating this with her dad and trying to be helpful, but that has to be like taxing on her and her life and her marriage. And, the fact that she revealed to us during season 1 that he even has this mentality where I raised you, so now you owe me, has to make it harder, because then now he's entitled to have all of this free help from her and her husband. And I'm glad that she stood up for herself, or else he would just keep using her and know that he didn't have to get better for himself.
Yeah. Jason, what was your reaction to it?
Just the same. And I know it's hard to do, but I think, they've supported him so much from what she's told us that they were just at a point where she had to say no. And maybe, like Adam said, it can be like, that can be the what do they say?
The nail in the coffin.
Thank you, something like that, where it would get him out and kind of make him think about, things moving forward. It's a very hard situation, and that's also something very hard to deal with. I've had friends deal with addiction issues, and it's not easy.
I thought it was, on a lighter note, I thought it was interesting that the first of all, Bladers Club, Whitney is growing on me when it comes to the comedy relief in this particular city. But it's interesting that she's the one who reunited her brother with her father, and now she doesn't have the relationship with him, but he does.
Family is a B word.
I think it will come around in a circle. I do believe that. I do it all. Everyone's on a journey, and you meet each other at different places within that journey, and I think they'll all come back around. It just, hopefully it will take time, and hopefully there'll be a good outcome.
To be fair, I just met last Sunday with my uncle, who I haven't spoke to in 5 years. So we had a falling out in New York, and now it's been 5 years, whatever. We live in the same state. And finally, one day I said to Jason, I think I just want to reach out because I think about it. So I want to just kind of see, where are you in life and whatever. So we sat down and we had, lunch, and it was the most nerve-wracking thing. But families do come back together. So I think the same thing will happen for them.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, this is therapy for me. What are you talking about?
I'll send my bill later.
What?
Moving on from there, we do have these simultaneous scenes that are happening. Heather and Jen hanging out and having a conversation about Jen not being invited to this big, Fresh Wolf event that's honoring adoption. And then, of course, Jen makes it about her. My aunt just adopted 2 people. Why didn't she invite me? And it's like, okay, girl.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
There is also this fun energy that we get with Heather and Jen that I enjoy. But when we get to that particular part, I'm like, okay, girl. But the adoption event where we meet a former parishioner of Mary Cosby's church. Very pre-produced. Jason, I know you alluded to this a little bit earlier. What is your reaction to that pre-produced scene that Lisa orchestrated?
I think because I'm so used to watching TLC that I can see pre-production in the moment now. Yeah. So it just was, everything was convenient. And I had I don't know how to explain it. I got all kind of cringy when I saw that moment at that Nino Viejo restaurant, when the owner came up and approached Whitney at the table with Lisa, John, Justin and Whitney. I thought that was so cringy. I was like, this was totally planned. This is totally planned. But this is also Meredith's storyline for the rest of the season too.
Yeah.
Her
else
going back and forth. Exactly. So it just, everything from when he came up, how he came up, whoever Lisa's getting to come up and do this, like the owner of the restaurant or this guy, Cameron, whatever. I just feel like they don't know what they're doing exactly. Like Lisa barely knows how to play into the camera, and same with Meredith, they're still new. So it's like, now you're bringing in someone who is not used to having cameras around them, and it's very apparent and it's very obvious. And when they have to step away for a photo, and then all of a sudden, Meredith has all these questions,
right?
It's like, where did they come from? Did you write them down, or are you reading them off your cup of wine? Like, where I didn't understand where that's coming from. And I was like, this was very acting 101 don'ts,
Adam.
Well, I think also too, it's like one of those things where they say criminals always get caught because they get away with it the first time, so they know they get away with it, and then they try to do it a second time or a third time, or in allegedly Jen Shah's case, multiple times. I don't know, but if you think about Lisa Barlow, we see that moment with the caterers, and that felt so pre-produced, but we're like, okay, she's saying it's not. She's getting passionate. She's like, I'm not lying, Whitney, and we're like, okay. We still don't believe you, but we'll let it go. And now we have this guy coming up. It's so perfect. And then you stepped away to take a photo. You didn't step away to go eat the whole damn buffet.
How long did that photo take?
How long did that photo take? But it's so good on Lisa Barlow if she wasn't so obvious. Like LVP knew how to do this, and she didn't look this obvious. Where Lisa Barlow
from the side,
Lisa Barlow is putting Meredith in the situation, so she wasn't privy to the conversation. That way, now Meredith has to answer for what he said about Mary Cosby, and Lisa Barlow doesn't because she didn't know he was going to bring it up.
Yeah, it's very obvious, but we've said this before, and I knew it after the whole Brooks saga was over. Meredith would have nothing left for the season. So her being distraught after the conversation and Lisa pulling her to the side, you are you okay? You look like you're about to cry. Why would Meredith be about to cry? What why is she so shaken?
She's spooked because now she thinks that her friend might be shady. But again, did we not hear the audio? What's going on?
In all fairness, her audio wasn't as bad as Jen Shah's audio. Or was it?
I mean, which audio for Mary Cosby? She has one kicking a woman out of her car, making her walk allegedly a couple miles home on the way back from church because the woman didn't agree with something that she said. So the woman recorded her screaming at her, then kicked her out on the side of the road.
That's not funny.
And then the congregation one when she was yelling at people for not giving her enough money. So I don't know.
I feel as if you have a vendetta against Mary Cosby.
No, I'm telling you, I'm learning to appreciate her on the show too. I feel like she's giving us a kooky quirkiness, which I'm excited about because it's not Heather Gay, who I loved on the show, and I still love her, but she's giving me a very stale, boring season. Whitney is giving me a little bit, Lisa Barlow a little bit, Jen Shah nothing yet, and Meredith really not a whole lot. So I am appreciative of Mary, but I still think that there's some like shadiness happening behind the scenes. You don't just like, come on, am I crazy? Am I looking through a totally different lens? What's going on?
Did you believe her former parishioner? Was he believable? He is probably the only one that seems authentic in that moment.
He doesn't look like he wants the camera time or anything. He just looks like, yeah,
he looked a little nervous, like I think because of the cameras. It's like they put the understudy on, go on stage, go. But then he was truthful and honest with his performance because they got a real actor. It's just the way it was done. It just seemed to be very like, no, but very staged. I did believe him. I do believe him, of course. And I loved. He was very, very political in the way he spoke about the church and about what had happened there and his experience. So I thought that was, it made me believe him even more because he didn't just come in and trash people and everything. And,
And we're going to get more of him later in the season with Lisa with a sit down.
I want to sit down.
Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, I'm here with Adam and down with Jason for our weekly collaboration on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with a sprinkle of Potomac. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Dubai. But since we're talking about Potomac, let's just jump right on into some Potomac. Unless you guys had some other thoughts on Salt Lake City before we move over.
Oh, I'm surprised we did a half an hour.
That's because it's us. We can talk about anything.
Yeah, and if you divide that by 3, that means that we're only getting 10 minutes a piece here.
No, well, there we go. Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome.
Guys, Potomac. What were your thoughts on Potomac last night?
It was a good finale. It was a good ending. I thought it was a good ending. It wasn't like crazy. And of course, we're getting we were led to believe that there was going to be a huge altercation between Chris and Michael, and then it was kind of like not bad. It turned out to be between Chris and Candace. We should have known, but it was a good like kind of okay. We're done now. I'm ready for the reunion.
Oh, what a guy! What a guy!
I love that face.
Do it one more time, please. I just want to see him again.
Wow, that face.
I did, Kempire. I have a question for you because like one of the first scenes we got was Robin, Juan, Ashley, and Michael sitting at the table, and Robin, who I just have a hard time. At this point, I was like, are you getting a contract next year? Because I need to know if I want to watch the show. But Robin is sitting there with Juan, but she keeps parading Michael on. Are you going to come hang around us? Are you going to be around the group? But where has Juan been?
I mean, Robin would like to know as well. Robin's here with us. She's a special guest tonight.
Oh my God.
Robin, can you answer Jason's question?
She's like, no.
Apparently not. No, I agree. I think Robin needs to come back as a friend of. I said this last night when I did my after show. I feel like she should come. Look, she's lucky that I'm even giving her that, but that's only because the Scala brought nothing this season. If she had brought a lot, then I'm like, bye, Robin.
I liked Scala as a friend, and I thought she did her part. And now I'm okay with, okay, move on. I would be totally fine and happy. I like Robin. I do. I don't like her as a housewife. I would love to see her as a friend. That would be fine because that would keep, Giselle happy, I would assume.
I feel like Bershawn really only got along with Ramona on Real Housewives of New York.
Always bring up Bershawn. Is she paying you?
Well, she was there last night. She was
at Karen's wedding. So, and she lives closer to Potomac than she does New York. And I think that maybe they could
Where the hell does she live?
She lives in Maryland.
Oh,
yeah.
Hop, skip on the turnpike. You're there.
Yeah. So I think if they brought her in and got rid of Robin, at least that she would have that energy and that, hey, I'm here. And Robin right now, I said this earlier with Jason, I feel like Robin looks like she's bored, like she doesn't want to be there. She's not giving us any kind of like, I'm fighting for my full-time position. It's just like, oh, okay, I'm here. Giselle's protecting me. What's up, guys? Nope, don't really care what you have to say. Bye.
And I feel like, too, she's trying to make Juan look bad. I think she's trying to bring all this up, and he's not playing into it. This is just kind of my perception of what I got. He's not playing into her building this like storyline to keep us interested for this last thing. He's like, don't do that to me. That was 13 years ago. If you want to talk about present times, get out of the bed. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't buy it, and I just felt like there was she's trying to create some altercation that's just not. It's not there. Like, we don't even buy it. That's how bored we are of you.
Adam, do you think that Robin should come back as a full-time housewife next season?
Do you know me? No.
Do you know the entire viewership of Real Housewives of Potomac?
Oh
no. I mean, honestly, listen, this isn't a bad thing. I've said this so many times. I even said this with David Yancey the other day. I think like a Teddy Mellencamp, a Robin, even a few other ones I could name that are still currently housewives. It doesn't make you a bad person or like I think that you're awful because you're not cutting it as a housewife. You seem like you'd be great in real life. On the show, you're not bringing a whole lot of storyline or anything. That's why I don't want to see anyone get fired and lose their job. You're just not exciting to watch. I wouldn't be exciting to watch. So I'm okay with that. And Robin is not either. So she has to be okay with that. That's all.
What if we get more scenes though with Robin and Juan and Ashley and Michael?
No, I don't want Michael's ass.
Nix it all.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right.
What else can we know?
Darby.
Okay. What else can we know? Okay, we've been to the hotels. We've been with the people. We've watched him have kids while he's been cheating. Okay, so what else do we need to know about Michael?
We need to see
actually.
Take him to the bank.
Well, I'm sure that's next. But didn't you love how the producers and the editors sort of played into what everyone's been talking about when it comes to Juan and Michael's relationship? That came up several times in this last episode.
They're almost making him look like as if he has this like fantasy about Juan Dixon, which is he's
looking at Juan right here. He's looking at Juan.
At this point, who knows? But I think, and this is what I said earlier on our recap. I just said that I think Michael just has Juan doesn't seem like he judges or really like has a lot of confrontation. I think Michael appreciates that. Maybe Michael appreciates more. I don't know, but
well, look, I enjoyed this last episode, but I don't think it was a season finale type of episode. Adam, what did you think?
No, for the whole season, I'm going to give them a pass on this finale because it wasn't necessarily the most exciting finale. It didn't give you finale vibes, except for the Karen, obviously Val Renewal. That gave us like a little bit of that feeling of completion. But the whole season itself had better ratings than OC, Dallas, New York. So I'm going to give them props because they carried a whole season. Then they had a lackluster, finale. But most of the other ones didn't carry through any of the season and had no finale, or had moments of good parts in the season, and then the finale is now garbage.
Ooh.
Or no reunion, Yeah. See, that's the thing is we didn't have a New York reunion, so now we're tacking on those extra reunions to Potomac and Beverly Hills, and
also with the back of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Normally, we would get Atlanta this month,
right?
And I think that's part of it. So that also leads me to the other question. You both obviously don't believe there needs to be 4 parts.
No.
Oh.
No.
Not even with Nicki Minaj.
No, Nicki the third.
I want to see only Nicki Minaj. But Yeah, no, I think 3 parts would be good. 4 parts. I have to say, I'm so disappointed with Beverly Hills, like the reunion, the 4 parts. The only thing I learned new was that there's allegedly 3 mistresses instead of 1, which I figured once there's 1, they start all coming out from the woodworks anyway. So there's probably going to be more than 3. But I didn't feel like I really learned anything. And it was so teased that this was going to be such a great, nothing left on the table reunion. If it wasn't for Nikki, I wouldn't be watching all 4 parts of Potomac.
I mean, but they do that to us too, and I have to say I really enjoyed watching Potomac. I look forward to it every Sunday, and it never really disappointed me that much. Yeah. But Andy does have that overpromise, underdeliver kind of thing. I'm glad he came out with Dubai today because he said, "Oh, I'm releasing a book," just to find out that it's just quotes from 365 other people. So that has to
be the easiest book ever to write.
Kempire, send me a quote because I'm starting to write a book right now. And apparently he was telling Hoda this morning, he doesn't have to ask. I don't have to ask your permission to use that quote. So I'm going to use it and put your name on it and write a book.
Wow.
Oh, that's your quote.
Sneaky.
Wow.
See anything else? Guys, we have 500 people watching. If you're watching this video for this long, then obviously you like it. So like the video. Make sure you follow my guests, Up and Adam and Down with Jason, on their channels and their socials. All that information is available in the description of this video. Of course, with other ways that you can connect with us here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel as well. Guys, because we were just talking about Andy, we'll go back to Potomac in a second. Can we just talk a little bit about the Real Housewives of Dubai? I think over the weekend, there were rumors of this happening. Now they've confirmed it. Jason, you obviously are very excited about this because I know Adam is definitely excited. But what are your thoughts on the announcement?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
You know how I feel. I mean, I hate like waking up early to do videos, and I had to go live this morning, so I was like, guys, I'm so excited. And, there's been talk about it already. Last week in Cosmopolitan Middle East, they did announce who could potentially be housewives. Yeah. Now, that was so interesting to me because Cosmo here called every single one of the Salt Lake City housewives, including Angie Harrington, who didn't appear on the first season. So it kind of led me to believe that maybe this was kind of accurate. So I started doing more research and see who Caroline follows, who follows what, who appears in whose stories. Caroline is allegedly filming a reality show. She put it on her social media, I think last week. So that was also a hint. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see so much opulence that it makes everyone else just look like, why are we going to watch Beverly Hills now? I saw a great tweet that the Housewives of Dubai are going to make the Housewives of Beverly Hills look middle class. I don't know why that made me laugh, but if you remember, like, that was my favorite girls trip was when Beverly Hills went over to Dubai.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I think, so many people are commenting. I've been to the Middle East twice, to different cities. I had a great time. But I know there are certain laws and certain things that happen in the United Arab Emirates. I want to see how that is going to relate to their daily lives, how it translates into television, what we'll learn from it. I think that's what we need. I think we need an international franchise. I think that is, like Andy said, that's going to pop the top off of the Real Housewives and kind of give it a boost. I hope.
Oh, I was going to say they also just did their cast trip for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in Dubai. It's not just Beverly Hills, so I didn't know where you were going with that. But no, I'm also very excited, and I saw where one of the comments, not just one, there were a few comments from fans because I've been messaging Caroline Stanberry back and forth, and she's been teasing the hell out of me with emojis, not answering any of my questions. So I get it.
Pretty
Caroline.
Creative. Creative.
Yes. And she's great, but I think it's funny that a lot of people are questioning how they're going to lead the Real Housewives of Dubai with this blonde hair, blue-eyed woman who looks very out of place from what we hear in Dubai. But they have to remember too, out of the cast, the alleged cast that we have right now, we have, real estate moguls, beauty business gurus, whatever. Like there's like a Kylie Jenner who has a multi-billion-dollar brand. We have beauty pageant queens, all kinds of different personalities. I I don't know. This is going to be interesting. But none of them have the same reality TV background though as Caroline. That's why she's heading it. And I'm sure once the other ones get comfortable in this Real Housewives world, you know, Caroline will have her match made for her.
I have two things really quick to say about that, because yes, that's why Caroline will be leading. She is very familiar with Bravo production, how they film, what to do. She also has an interesting storyline, you know, getting married to a younger guy. You know, Dubai is very westernized to an extent. You know, most of it is man-made, you know, islands and stuff that they were trying to attract a lot of Europeans, especially English. So I'm curious to see how that will be in place. She also is very involved in Dubai, the influence world, you know, that whole kind of thing. She was like the first blonde woman on a billboard in Dubai. So I think and not like that really matters to us, but I think it's a good way of bringing in the housewives with a veteran of Bravo, but also someone who we need to see what Dubai is all about. And I think that is part of Dubai.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. And, you know, I was glad to see the possibilities of a cast, because I was like, okay, I like Caroline. I remember her from Ladies of London, but I also know when she moved there. So she's not really from there. And a lot of the ladies that they're mentioning aren't necessarily from there as well, but at least there's
not a lot of people in Dubai are from Dubai.
Exactly. Yeah. But she's a newbie to Dubai. In reality. So I wanted to make sure that they at least had a cast full of women that have been there, that know Dubai, that are part of the Dubai, you know, culture and threads of what's going on. So it will be interesting to see how she knows everyone and how they connect everyone. But I am also interested in seeing them create a show of people that we don't know, and the way that it started, you know, instead of actresses that we all knew. And I do find it interesting that this is going to be the first international one that will air here in comparison to some of the other ones that we know of that are internationally.
Did they let us know if it's going to be on Bravo or on Peacock? I'm guessing they're doing Bravo for this
Bravo.
one.
Yes. Bravo.
Thank the Lord.
We're going to have to move over to Peacock, though. There's a lot of stuff coming to Peacock that we're all going to have to cover and talk about.
I know, but I'm just I feel like if it's on Bravo, it's just that much easier to get to. I don't know, but really, it's one of those. Like I looked at change. I don't change. I didn't like when they took away my little circle button on my iPhone. There's some shit that I don't like, you know.
It's not about the circle button.
I just upgraded his software for like 2 years, and he doesn't even know how to work his phone anymore. It's watching him try to work like iOS 15 is like, he's like, what just happened? I'm like, okay, we're moving. Like technology keeps moving, friend. You just gotta.
Yeah, my phone was not
updated. Both of us. Come on now. I need you.
There's two things that I am really bad at. It's technology and driving. So,
amen.
So I should be very scared anytime I see you have video of you on the road.
You won't catch me driving. If Jason's if Jason and I are in the same vicinity, he's driving, not me.
Oh.
There are, but you bring up a good point, Kempire. There are so many great international franchises. Cheshire, I've heard Auckland, I've heard Melbourne was good. I've watched a little bit of Cheshire. I never got into it. I watched like 2 seasons, but I would, you know, I think there are very interesting international ones available. I wonder if they would ever bring those to Peacock, being, you know, franchised out.
Yeah,
I don't know if that would ever happen, but I would like to see. Someone brought up a good comment too. I would like to see the Real Housewives of London as well. If we're going international, let's start getting international. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Interesting, guys.
I'm so happy it wasn't Nashville. Sorry.
Wait, say it again.
I'm so happy it wasn't Nashville.
I know that was a rumor.
Yeah.
Why? Nashville's interesting.
Hey, no, Dubai. Well, come on. Dubai is like a place on more exciting. Yeah,
it has a place on Peacock for sure. Like I would be happy to see it, but I think right now, you know, after Salt Lake, after Dallas I just feel like
we need excitement.
Exactly.
Culture, change.
And we've been locked up. You know, you just traveled internationally, Kempire. I cannot wait to get back out and do that. This is a great, like, oh my gosh, let's go see.
I'll buy your ass a plane
kind of
right now. It's great.
I'm gonna go on tour. I'll see you in a year.
Bye.
I'll say this though. However, if you've ever traveled to Dubai, it's like Vegas. It's good for a moment. It's not necessarily a place where unless you have money like that, it's not the place where you're like, oh my gosh, it's a little gaudy.
But we have to remember too, like even with Caroline went there, you know, just what, 7 years ago or something.
Yeah.
It still is a new city. Okay, it just in the past 10 years it's grown to be completely huge. UAE is a newer country, so this is, you know, I think right now, I don't, now would be a good time to see this show, and I'm really excited about seeing this.
I'm hoping. No, I'm just excited. I don't know. I'm like a kid in a candy store today.
Oh.
I'm just hoping it makes me want to go visit. I'm hoping that, you know, just as much as it's about like Salt Lake City, one thing that they did do a good job with adding and introducing the new women was introducing us to the city by giving us a lot of the different kind of scenic B-roll where we see the mountains, we see the churches, we see how pretty it is. I can't wait to see all of those shots of Dubai. It's going to be really cool. It's exotic. It's different. I'm excited.
And I love the teaser they gave us.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the tea on some of these ladies in Dubai. I know people. Guys, if you're just joining us, I'm over here, of course, Up and Adam and Down with Jason. Again, be sure to follow them on their social medias. Guys, what is coming up for you? I'll start with Down with Jason.
Oh my gosh. Well, it is my favorite night of the week because my favorite show is on Below Deck. I'm so excited to watch it tonight. We have Anchor Watch tomorrow night at 11 p.m., which I have convinced Kempire to come on next week. So I'm like, hey, do you stay up? Like,
sure.
Well, I didn't know if you stayed up late because I know like you and Adam are like, I'm getting notifications on even my watch that there's like videos being posted, and I'm like still trying to wake up after Adam has me at the gym at like 6 or 7. I'm still not awake until like now.
Okay.
So, you know, it takes me time. But yeah, we have Anchor Watch this Tuesday, 11 p.m. I'm super excited about that. And then this week we have Jolene Lunzer joining us. And then the following week we're going to have you, and I'm so excited. I love that show.
Me too. I love Below Deck, and I can't wait for Captain Lee to finally come back because I don't want to be the captain. Up and Adam, what's coming up with you?
You know, Mondays are always crazy. We were just talking about this. The only thing I can think of right now is Hot Messy Topics tonight at 6 p.m. We have a lot of great topics for people to call in and chime in on. That'll be great. That's a subs only. And then tomorrow we are going on Ryan Bailey's podcast, but then also on that, Jason, what is that? Derek Sagami, what is the channel called?
I know it's NBC, like a New England thing. Remember when it was so funny. Can I tell you a story really quick? Because Adam came to me. He's like,
no, Jason, you better shut your mouth, friend.
No, he said,
I will.
He's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing a show.
Jason.
Look, don't let me do it.
He just didn't read the part of new. He just saw England.
You are shady as hell. I will rake you through the coals, friend.
Go ahead, Jason. Finish your thought.
No. It's NBC, like New England NBC. It's great. The last time you were on it, Adam, was actually fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're up in New England, you'll get that daytime show channel.
Yeah, so there's random things going. Honestly, I don't really know where my week is going until like the day before. So, and when I think I'm going to have a slow day, then I go out to lunch and then I look at my phone and it's going crazy. And then it turns into a busy day. And then when I think I'm going to have a busy day, it's like today where it kind of feels a little bit slow, but I don't know what's really going on. But I'm just happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
And next week we are going to be on Down with Jason, talking very much about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Potomac, and whatever else is going on in the Bravo universe. Guys, I appreciate you both being here, and thank you to my moderators, our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. More details on how you can support and follow both Jason and Adam are available in the description of this video. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day. We will be going live shortly again here on the channel, and I'm sure you guys have a busy schedule as well, so be sure to check everything out, guys, when you have the time. We will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.